Alrighty, thank you for joining everybody. Today in our iGyro training session, we're taking our first look at the iGyro color selection module. So very first look, that will allow you to do color selections with your clients. So clients can pick their products and their colors for their job and make it easy for you to reconcile that later. So we'll start off in Gyro. I'm logged in with an admin user at the moment, and we'll pick a job to work on today. And as usual, we've got our tabs across the top in the job, and the new module is under the selections tab here. So we'll click on this one here. And being an admin, you look at this screen here, and there's no selections available yet, but we can create a new one. So this works similar to the way, say, iProx does. So iProx, you can create a number of different estimates. We can also do that with the selections. So we can start working on one, copy it, make some changes, but we'll go through how to mark it as current so you know which one is the live one at any point in time. Now, before we start this, I'm just going to quickly show you the admin panel for the setup of the selections. We won't dive straight into the admin, but just to show you where it lives and how that functions is under admin, under selections, and we've got these 4 different tabs here that will allow us to manage the color selection module here. So to start with, we've got house types. Now this is just a quick way of assigning rooms to a home before you start a selection. There's just a templated way to do that. There's a couple in here for you to pick from. You can create your own from the top right-hand corner. But if we double click one of these, we'll see all of these rooms assigned in this house. So again, not overly critical, but it is important for your business to get that just to streamline things moving forward. Let's say you always build homes with 5 bedrooms, you could just add a 5th bedroom into one of these. All right, the products is a big catalog of items. So you'll have access to all of those with pictures as well. Excuse me. Double click one of those to get a bit more information if it's available on that. And our templates is what drives the whole system here. So we double click one of these, we'll open up the template, and this is just a way of managing your templates. So if you have like color boards and things that your clients work from, you would set up a template for that. If they're full custom, you would set up a template which has more options. So again, it's just a bit of housekeeping for you to set that up for your business. Righty, so just briefly looking through here, like we've set up some color boards. So in this one, we've got one color board package to pick from, just set up in the packages tab. Color bond roof, for example, if we click on that, we'll see we've got all of these different colors that the client can pick from for a color bond roof. And we'll just pick something with some pretty pictures here as well. Bit of tapware, maybe we'll have a look at, say, sink mixers. You can see all in there as well. All right, and essentially a package is just a quick way to select items from across all of these different categories. So we go to packages, we've set one up for the Mizu Soothe Black, for example. It's got 4 products in it. So it will automatically pick all of these for us. And in this full selection package, there's 89 options in here. So it'll go through and pick all of these products for us. And we've got some advanced features here to restrict via climate zones. So if you're familiar with those, depending on the region that you're at, there's certain colors that you can't have on the exterior of your home. Also restricted by state. So if you're working across different climate zones and different states, you can really make use of these advanced features here. So more on that later if we have time, but we'll shoot back to that job we were just working on. And we'll choose the selections tab. And let's go ahead and create our first selection. Now, so I click that one. We've got our options here. We can just name that selection. It'll name it by default, the client name for us. We'll choose the type of home from our admin template. or house type. That just assigns which rooms go into this house. And selection template, we've just got one in this database at the moment. Click on that one, create. Okay, so looking at this to start with, we've got a couple of different views we can look at. So this has copied all of our information from our templates. So if we had a look at, say, tapware, sink mixer, which we saw before, it'll show up in here. And as you're hovering your mouse over those, it allows you to select a particular item. Now, the idea behind this is that as an admin person or a color consultant, is that you've applied the template, you'll come in here and try and do a bit of a pre-selection before you hand this over to your client to fill in the details. So you can either fill it out 100% yourself or partially fill it out and provide it to your client and they could fill in blanks. So we've first created this straight from the template. First thing to look at the top here, we've got this show locations. So we click on this and essentially that has used our house type template to tell us what rooms belong in this house by default. But we'd look through this list and see if there are any rooms provided there that don't apply to this particular home. So if they don't have a powder room, we can take that out for a start. And it might make it a bit clearer if I change the view of this list. So if I change this to the location list, it will give us a running list of all the rooms that we need to go through and pick products for. And let's say we didn't have a WC in this house. We could cross that off here. It's taken it out of this list. So it's something we don't have to fill in later. Let's say we have a laundry, don't have a butler's pantry, we'll cross that off as well. So anything that doesn't belong in this home, we just delete out of there. Shrink that up out of the way. Now, our color board package. So this is that big package that we looked at before, and it's assigned in this template. We can click on this link here, 53 available products, and it'll give us a bit of a rundown of the products it's going to select for us. And that's all driven by our package template back in admin. Now, just for your own sake, you can click in through here and you can see if there's any issues with that template or with that selection package. So it's letting us know that all of these products, for whatever reason, have not been made available in the template. So at some point, an admin would need to go back through and add these things in to make this package work correctly. Not a big deal. It just means that it's not going to apply them in this list, and it'll be something that we can manually fix as we work through. This one, a bit of informational screen here as well. So state or climate excluded. So if the home state or their climate zone isn't applicable to these products, it's removed them so you can't select from them. So these, for example, are WA bricks, and this home is in New South Wales, so they're not available in this job to pick from. One thing I should mention to you, if we shoot back to job details, or let's talk about states and climate zones. There is a new climate zone selector here, so you can choose what climate zone your home belongs in. But also just make sure that you've got your state correct in your site address. Back to selections. So this is in draft status at the moment and no items have been selected. Double click to get back into that. Right, so here's where the fun begins here. We're going to go straight to this color board to start with, and we're going to select this. Okay, it's going to tell us 51 items have been updated, 2 have been skipped. We can click to see what was missed here. So PVC downpipes color was skipped because surf mist is not in the template. It's not in the available options. All right, so again, it just means that it didn't apply that selection. So we can work through that and fix that up as we go. Otherwise, we can just click straight onto this. So we can click on painted PVC downpipes color. It'll take us to that selection. And you can see we've only got 2 options here. So surf mist was not one of those. Now, you can either go back to your admin settings and fix that in the template, but if for some reason it's just a one-off, you can add a product in here. Add this particular surf mist in, add selected. All right, it's given us an ad hoc option, which is not part of the template. That's all ad hoc means, but it allows us to select that. Now, we can just hit that select button and that'll pick that item for us. If we've modified the template or we've just added some items in, we can come back into color board, clear that selection, reselect, go through that process again. This time it's only telling us it skipped this one item, which is the shower screen. All right, a few filters here as well. So we can filter by name. So we type in the word sink, it's going to filter just to items with the word sink in it. We've already briefly looked at the views, so you can just work through by type of selection. Or we click on by location, it's going to organize that by the area in the home. Okay, we've got excluded. These are just filters as well. So you can exclude items from this selection, meaning it'll be removed from any printouts that you have and the clients won't need to select from it. You can also hide items where you'd only like the admin person to see that selection, whereas you don't want the client to see it. We've also got our completed filter here. So if you tick that one, it just means that we're only looking at items that need your attention that haven't been selected yet. Alrighty, so we look at the hidden options. So let's say we don't want the client to ever see a color board or select from that. It's just an admin thing that you'd like to do. We can right click that and click on hide. So you'll see the little tiny eye symbol there letting us know that that selection type is hidden. It means admins can see it, clients cannot see it. We get to something like, say render, we can actually right click, we can hide it from the client, or if we wanted to, we could exclude that altogether. So just hit the exclude option and it means it won't be in any of your printouts. Client will not see it either. And by ticking that button there, we can bring back all of those excluded items. Just means we can right click then and re-include it if we've made a mistake. Okay, so what you'll also notice down the bottom, we've got these big previous and next buttons. They will work through this color selection, skipping all the things that have already been chosen and find the next item that needs your attention. So clients also have those buttons as well. So click on next. So all of these items are already been selected. So roof tile's been done, color bond roof, fascia, barge capping, all selected from that color board template that we set up. Right, but we do need to pick the gutter profile. In this case, we've only got this one option in this template. We'll select that. Other, so most of these, we've set the template up so you've got an other option hidden so that clients can't see it. They can only select from the other options. If you're an admin person, you could select this item, right click, you've got a few more options and we can say edit notes and put in a builder's note. You can type anything you like in there and the client will also see that. Even just on a regular item, you can also put a note on that if you needed to. Okay, so as we work through, we can just select these items. We get to a bit where we've got, actually, skip past the section. I just want to show you what these options here are. Wondering where that was. I'll have to keep going. Oh, here we go. External concrete. So lots of these selections can apply to multiple locations or multiple places in your home. So by default, so external concrete, we're saying all locations will use this concrete that we select. So all the concrete, but alfresco, driveway, porch will all use this Arctic sun exposed concrete. If we do not want that to happen, we can separate these out. So we can say, well, actually, for the alfresco, we wanted this black knight. We can select that. And it separates these out. So we've got now driveway and porch have this one. Alfresco has this one. You can see by the little green lights that let you know all of those areas have had concrete selected. It's also split those out so you can see that in the tree view here as well. All right, so let's say the porch actually didn't have concrete. We can just delete that out. It takes that option away, and now it's only these two things here. If we want to go back and say, well, actually want all the concrete to be the same again, we can click all locations and pick the concrete. And it's gone through, just letting us know here that it's reapplied the concrete to all locations. Just have a question from Felicity there. I'll see if I can unmute you there. All right, Felicity, did you have a question there? Still muted. Just need to re-enable your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah. Just back to the gutters that you had, how there was only one selection and an other.
Mm-hmm.
If we needed to add more in, like other options, like pictures, can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the admin panel is the best place to do it. You'll fix up your template so that it's got more options. This one just
Right.
wasn't set up correctly, only had that one option.
Okay, no worries.
Otherwise, like the ad hoc thing, we can just use the database to find a product that would be suitable.
Yep, okay.
Just not sure of a profile. Let's just say that was a profile. You could search the database for those types of profiles and add that in, and then you've got an extra option to pick from.
Okay.
All right, best place to do that is to think about it and put that in your templates, though.
Yep, sure. Back in the admin panel.
Back in the admin panel, that's right.
Yep. Okay.
All right, for one-offs, you can do that in here, though. Like if it's something that's peculiar just to this one job, you would go through and add it just individually. All right, so that's how the rooms work here. Now, if we shoot into the room view, obviously we're working through that separately as well. So it will just show us which one we're selecting for. Bedrooms is another example there where we're choosing the linen type for all of these locations, or the sliding door type. So if we wanted to change bedroom, say bedroom 1, and they want mirrored, that's fine. If bedroom 2 was different, we could select that as a different product. Right, and it'll let us know which products are chosen for which room. Okay, so it's just essentially just a matter of working through that until you're satisfied with how complete this is and left just for your client selections then. You'll notice that we've got just a draft set up here. So clients won't see that unless this is ready for them to view. But quickly show you what a client will see. If they come into their job and they come to selections, they're going to see that their color selection is not ready for them at this point in time. So as an admin, once you're ready, there's a settings button on this right-hand side. So it's got some settings on how to change your template, how to rebuild everything and remove all your selections. But if we are ready for this to go to the client, we can make this active. Okay, we'll see that it's active here. We go back to the main selection screen, also see that it's active here, and it is the current color selection. So the idea of current is that you're just going to mark that so that you know which is the live one, which you should always refer to. So your project managers and your estimators can always know which is the current selection. All right, so we pull the client back now, and if they come into selections, they come straight into the active selection. They can't pick and choose which selection they're working on. It's only the active one. So they'll come to a screen like this and they can just work through this, all the empty items, pick all the items that they'd like along the way. If they need to, they can also add their note as well. Now, once all of their selections are complete, you can see the percentage that they've worked through here. They get to 100%, they get a big submit button at the bottom. Otherwise, they've got this review and submit option here, and they can submit straight from here as well. Submit that, see what that looks like. All right, so what's happened here is they've completed it, submitted this color selection. Everything is now read-only now they've submitted it, so they can't make changes to this. All right, it is read-only. So back in the admin panel, we'll see that it's got a completed status now. Tells us how many items have been completed. It's the current one. We can work or double click to get back into that. Also see that it's completed. Now, from the tools menu again, we've got some options here. We can reopen that job. So if we want to send it back to the client, we can. We can just hit reopen. Okay, it's active again now. The client can still make changes. As an admin, you can make changes at any time, regardless of whether it's completed off or not. But when we're working through, once it's mostly complete, we can click this preview button. And as an admin, we have some options here. So we can say we'd like to see all the hidden items. We would like to either group it by the standard grouping or by location, so by the house rooms. And we'll click on preview, give us the full color selection here. We can generate that PDF with the same options. So that's a printed PDF that we can rely on then. Got some client signature fields at the bottom. Right, you can notice there's a lot that hasn't been filled out because we've quickly just skimmed through that. But from this preview screen, you can also click on here and go, okay, tap where, there's a little ... button, click on edit. It'll take us straight to that section in this color selection. So here we've got our, again, there's some more packages. We've got 2 different packages to pick from. And we'll just choose the black Mizu Soothe, select that. That's gone through and selected all of those products in here for us. 4 items have been updated. Righty, so tools menu, that's generate PDF. We just saw that before. And this is a new one, import to Estimator. So in our template, we've got a way of linking Estimator, our bill of quantity estimating package, into this, and we can import to Estimator. And this screen is showing us all of the client selections that map to estimator variables. So all of the colors and everything that have been selected will get pushed through into the bill of quantities for us. All right, so you can shift click to import all of them. It'll tell you the current value. So if an estimator's already been working on things, this information might clash with what's already in Estimator. It'll highlight that for you so you can work out what that discrepancy is. So probably best for an estimator to do this section where they'll come into the color selection and review this screen. They can import the whole lot by selecting them or pick and choose which ones they'd like to bring in. Just import. Okay, so do we have any questions at this point here? So this is the I guess the admin and client facing screen that we're working through here. And we can go back and touch on some more in the admin screen very shortly. No questions at the moment. So let's dive back into the admin screen. We'll go to selections. All right, so I think house types is pretty straightforward and so is products, but this product database, there's a couple of filters at the top here. So we can just search for something. So if we're looking for freestanding bath, we can just type that in. We can include archived options. So if there's something that's in the database but archived oft, we can allow us to search for them. Shared items. So obviously you haven't gone through and entered all of these products, but we've got a shared database of all of these. If you untick that, it's only going to see your own products, the ones that you've entered yourself. And this tick box, the only template items. So if you take note that in this products list, we've only got 581 items showing. If I untick this, the full complete database is actually 80,000 items worth. So by ticking this, it's showing just the products that we've assigned into our templates. Just keeps the database nice and manageable for you to look through. All right, so to add your own product, you can just click on New Product and fill out the details here, assign a picture. Let's just put in I'm going to select something that we sorted to the top of the list for us. We put in the product code, a bit of a subtitle underneath the product name, choose a product image if you wanted to. The product URL is the manufacturer's website for that product. If you know what that is, it'd be helpful to put that in, plus any notes you might have. If it was just some sort of a color swatch, you can just pick that from here or type in your hex values. Save that. All right, there's our new product. Simple as that, in the database, ready to use in templates. All right, so we go to templates here. So this looks very similar to what we saw in the job screen. So it's because it's driven from this template. This variable tab here is our estimator variables. You need to really understand Estimator to know how that works. But we've got plenty of great videos in our Knowledge Hub on Estimator. But essentially, it's just matching the variable name from Estimator in this column here. We could double click that and just enter it into here. Now, one nice feature I didn't show you before, which I think is worth me jumping back in to show you. Go back into jobs. Choose the selection. If we choose a product here, say plasterboard walls, it needs some paint, we've got this extra option here for the sheen. So we set up a default in the template, or you can pick and choose a different sheen here. Ready? So that's back in the template. It's driven from here. So if we find, what's that again? There's the plasterboard walls. I'll double click that. You'll see it's set up in here. This is copied from another database, so it's not showing exactly what I would have expected there, but I'll go through and set that up again. So roof tile doesn't really have a sheen, but we'll try and set one up for ourselves. So we click on Manage Option Sets, create a new option set name, and it allows us to put some values against that. Right, so we can rearrange those as best as we like. Very simple set there. So I'll close that. And if for some reason we wanted to choose that on a roof tile selection, we just choose our option, which we just created just then. We can also choose a default option here, and that will be available in the job when we're selecting. All right, so that works for any product. You can come up with any kind of a list that you like. Alrighty, so the locations. So let's say it's a good example. Like a toilet roll holder is applying to all of these items here. Let's say we wanted a towel ring also in the WC. We can either just assign this. So we'll find the WC room, click assign. And another really quick way to do this is, let's say the towel rail, we want it in all of those rooms as well. So we can right click, copy locations, and paste that into there as well. So you can do that for any number of things. So if you want to apply, let's delete some of these out. So we want to apply all of these rooms again back to these items. We can just shift click or control click, right click, paste locations. That'll bring them all back in there again, just like a cut and paste. Okay, so now Felicity had a question just about the profile, the gutter profile. So this is the reason why we only have one option to select from is because there's only two products in this list. So let's see if we can add an additional one in there. Right, so here's a few more products we could pick from. Add selected. Now, whenever we apply a template, all of these options will be available. So let's shoot back to that job again. We'll just quickly look at the profile again. Got a profile. All right, you can see pretty well immediately all of those are available for us there. So we didn't really need to apply a template as such to add new items in. I did notice they're around the wrong way. We probably want that other option to be at the bottom. You can just click and drag. So most screens allow you to click and drag different products to change that order. Alrighty, so let's say we wanted the gutter profile to be the first option under roof cover. We could just simply by dragging it up and dropping it there. Alrighty, so I mean, there's a lot to this. Right click edit is the same as double clicking, but really the crux of it is just filling this out and making sure you've got the right items available for you. Assigning packages. So if we come in here, here's the Mizu black one that we worked on before. It's got 4 products. Works similar to that template we just looked at before in that you can just add more products in. So we wanted this actually to be as part of that package. We could add that straight in. Just to choose a type for it to be assigned to. So that was a towel ring. So we've added this thing here as a towel ring selection. You obviously want to put a bit more thought into that, but that would just make that available in that package. All right, then in your template, once you've got packages made, we can find the appropriate spot for it. And see, we've got 2 packages here. It's just a matter of adding that package. And let's just say we add that package in. Now we've got 3 packages to pick from under tapware and accessories. Okay, now that is a very brief overview there of that admin panel. We're just going to put a bit of effort into making some really good guides on this, which we'll put into the Knowledge Hub. But hopefully that's enough for some experienced users to get started on. But if there's any questions, please let me know before we finish up today. All right. All right, that sounds great. All right, thank you for joining everybody. We'll see you again soon.